With me.
Morning. Hi. Good to be here again.
Right, if you'd like to know why Rotus is laughing, you might want to join us on YouTube or streaming live. So you
Yes.
get to see what goes on behind the scenes.
Yes.
Was on
Just
YouTube
rewind.
YouTube Smooth 981. You can search us in your search box and we'll come up
Oh
on there.
man.
All right, and this morning you can join the conversation on Business Express 981 through WhatsApp. 0809 444 is the number, and you can go on Twitter at Smooth981FM and use the hashtag Business Express 981. You can also follow Rotus at Rotanquot
Yeah.
on Twitter. Good morning, Rotus.
Good morning. ROTANKWOT. All right. Let's hop into the market performance yesterday. So the 3-day bullish run ended yesterday. Market dropped by 0.16%. 32,121 points is where the market closed. Let's see now. So far this month, we're still up by 1.2% for March. So far for the year, up by 2.2%. Of course, we still had 19 losers and just 8 gainers on the exchange. eTransact was the top loser. Chip PLC was the top gainer on the exchange. So we're looking at we're looking at results now, full year results. 3 different companies from oil and gas, consumer goods, and banking. And then of course we're going to go into a bit of news. A very interesting Nairametrics article, hopefully I have time to get into it, about applying for to go to Canada. When Nairametrics has a full, you need to go and read this thing if you're thinking of shipping out. Full process there. Okay, gentlemen, shall we start with Nestle? Yes, so how are we seeing Nestle's results?
Well, looking at the year-on-year performance for the company was quite positive, with growth in both their revenue and PAT. Nestle has continued to demonstrate its resilience over the years, despite the tougher operating environment, the fact that consumer spending seems to be pressured. We can still see the positive numbers that Nestle put out. Now, from surveys that have been carried out, prices were kept relatively flat, like prices of their products were kept relatively flat. So with the improvements in revenue that we've seen, we believe it's largely down to an increase in volumes from the company. And I think one key strategy that was implemented last year or late 2017 was the reduction of packaging to this single serving type packages. And that has boosted retail volume growth as well for the company. We can see the positive impact that had. But one surprise was the fact that looking at the performance on a quarter-on-quarter basis, it wasn't as impressive. Looking specifically at the fourth quarter. The fourth quarter tends to be the best performing for most of the FMCGs. But with the weakness that was seen in Q4, that just raises some concerns as regards the performance of the company going forward.
Okay, but Ogudre, what do you think? How do you consider Nestle's performance?
Yeah, incredible results here. From what I can see, Nestle has been one of those companies that you want to call ever reliable. They've got incredible moats in the kind of products that they sell. Is it Golden Morn, Maggi, Milo? These are products, these are brands that are very strong, and these are brands that would always make them money all the time. So a couple of years ago, Nestle was kind of struggling. When we hit the recession, it was a bit tough for them. Margins dipped, but they seem to have picked up again, and it just shows the incredible resilience of the kind of products that they have. And I'm looking at the numbers here, and I'm just astounded. From what I can see here, return on average equity at 90%. That's just incredible.
Huge.
Price to book ratio at 23 times book value. So it's a stock that investors really and see as very important. Investors really like the stock, so they're ready to pay 23 times the book value for the stock. And Nestle, they actually haven't raised equity in years, so they basically kept the same number of shares and net assets for all as well. Price earnings ratio at 27.8 is actually cheap historically, because Nestle is one of the stocks that typically trade around 30 times or 34 times. So, but is it a good stock you want to get into? I really don't know, at 1,005 or thereabout. The upside is really a bit low in terms of growth. So it's not the kind of stock that you go into and you expect to see some kind of 40% capital appreciation. You know, but in terms of a stock that you want to keep in your portfolio and ensure that your portfolio remains stable and strong, Nestle is just one of those stocks.
All right, please remember, ladies and gentlemen, you know, these are analysts' opinions on these stock picks, and you want to, of course, consult a broker before acting on any advice that you hear. Another thing I noticed, they've been paying down their dollar loan from their parent company.
So saw a significant dip in total borrowings. Finance costs also were also down.
I think the borrowings are down. From the parent company is down 71%. So imagine if Nigeria's debt had been paid down 71%.
Return of assets of 28%. This numbers look real unreal to me.
Yeah.
If you have return of assets of 28%, I mean, you know, bottom line is that you can borrow. These guys can borrow their way out of Nigeria and they are comfortable.
Good
and
stuff.
Just incredible.
Strong.
Because I mean, interest rates are like 21, 23%.
Yes, no, but
at 27%.
So not bad at all. All right. So from consumer goods, Nestle, we now move to Seplat. Gentlemen, how do we see Seplat's performance for 2018? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, so for Seplat, an upstream company, in a period when you have all production volumes up, you have oil prices also trending higher, the expectation is that you'd see a positive impact from Seplat, and that's what happened here. In revenue was up about 65% thereabout. Now, if you take a look at the result and you go all the way down to their profit after tax, you'd actually notice a decline of about 44.7%.
Yeah.
But if you look at on a PBT level, that's profit before tax, they were actually up almost 500%. Now, the key difference is the fact that in 2017, their profit after tax was boosted by some tax gains.
Weren't you here last week when we were talking taxes? Wasn't that you? Okay, continue.
Their performance was boosted by some tax credits of about 67 billion.
Okay.
Last year. But we didn't have that. We didn't have that this year, so that's why we can see that the PAT was down year on year, whilst profit before tax was up. But I mean, it's a positive performance from Seplat. I mean, if you cast your mind back to 2015, 2016, with some of the issues that were going on in the Niger Delta as well, we saw the performance from the company take a significant dip, but they seem to have turned corner.
And I think, let me know what your thoughts are. They've renewed their licenses, OML. That's the operating the oil mining licenses of OML 438 and 41. They extended it to what, 2038?
Yeah, to 2038.
Right. So
which is one of the positive stories from this result. The CEO made this known during the press release.
Okay.
It was contained in the press release issued by the company. Strong result. So the tax credit last year was because of the pioneer status that they had. So the pioneer status basically unwind.
Right.
It's basically run its course, and so that's why you saw the profitability dip. But you want to look at the pre-tax profit, and that basically shows that it was a strong result for the company. They've also been paying down their debt as well, so it looks like they're basically cleaning up their balance sheet. A strong result all in all. Share price took a hit a bit yesterday. I guess maybe investors were reacting to the dividend that they declared. Seplat has also kind of diversified a bit into gas. They've done a lot of work into gas as well on the gas side of things.
Okay.
So that's basically diversifying their revenue base, which is quite good. So and then so long as oil prices remain stable and maybe going up, Seplat would always do well. And they also had, I think I saw where they had very good uptime for Transfocados,
85%,
which is very, very good. That's basically where they push a lot of their oil.
Right.
And so long as that pipeline is steady and flowing, Seplat would always make money. It's that kind of stock you want to invest in, perhaps. Price earnings ratio at about 16 times earnings, if I'm not mistaken. Let me check that again. Sorry, 19 times, like almost 20 times earnings. A little bit expensive at the moment. So for them to be having that kind of price earnings ratio, you're hoping that they're probably going to be growing, and the profitability growth will remain in the year to come. With the kind of drop that you've seen, I'm not sure they can continue to grow that fast. But at about 15-14%, yeah, if I might go in intercept that.
All right.
Thank you very much. We're looking at stocks this morning on Business Express 981 with Rotus, and of course is joined by Mairo-Ese and Ugo Dre. We have questions on WhatsApp. If you have questions for them, please go on, please send a message to 0809 4440981. Wale here is asking, Rotus, can you explain this sharp difference? Nestle did about 43 billion naira in PAT and proposed final dividend of 38 naira 50 kobo per share, while Zenith did about 193 billion naira, which is far more than Nestle PAT, and all they could propose is 2.8, 2 naira 80 kobo per share. Could it be because they're not in the same industry?
Yeah, is that a fair comparison to make?
It's not a fair comparison to make. They operate in different industries. So traditionally, most of the consumer goods companies pay above 90% payout ratio but for the banks you have it somewhere between 40 to 50% thereabout. So that's a trend that we've seen across these various industries.
Well, what do you think?
Yeah, apart from that too, was it Wale? Was that his
Wale?
name?
Yeah.
Wale, yeah. So you got to look at dividend yield as well. Dividend is very important. So for companies, when they are giving out dividend, they look at two things: dividend yield and then dividend payout ratio. So dividend yield basically is the dividend per share divided by the market price per share. So typically for Nigerian stocks, it's really around between 5 and 7%. That's a dividend yield. Also, look at the number of shareholders that they have. So, bank stocks typically have a whole lot, millions in shareholding compared to the likes of Nestle, right? So Nestle has a smaller shareholding compared to bank stocks. So even though in terms of market capitalization, GTBs and probably bigger companies compared to Nestle. So, but then also look at Nestle's share price, and the share price is a function of number of outstanding shares that you have. So, like I said earlier, Nestle has smaller outstanding shares compared to the likes of Zenith and GTB. So that's why Nestle trading at 1,500 and they're paying dividend at 38 naira per share. Whereas
So
GTB is probably trading at 40 something naira and they're paying at maybe 2 naira 75 kobo per share in dividend. So that's how you got to look at it. So mostly dividend payout ratio, dividend yield, and the number of outstanding shares.
See how we have solid guests on this show.
Yes, we
Some
do.
of the best business shows in the country. Good stuff.
All right, Yinko sent a message earlier on just to also say, in case some other people are having challenges with listening via social media apps, we'll look into that. We apologize sincerely for that, and we will try as much as possible to work on the audio. So for those who want to catch up with Business Express 981, we'll definitely, we are sincere apologies for that. Yinka here says, I'm an advocate of the activity lessons learned, even though most Nigerian businessmen are not worth studying about, in my own opinion, because they all smile from government paddy backing. Companies such as Nestle, to be specific, and a few worthy ones should be studied, by Nigerian schools in terms of their mode of business operations and how they've been able to stay up for a long while. I remember my pensioner dad whose life is run on stocks. He adores his Nestle shares like an idol of some sort, because at a point he almost hit the 1,000 naira per unit share mark. I hope our business school
Nestle is 1.5, but
I think it's referring to when his dad was celebrating it when it hit that figure. Another message.
MI from Akoka here says, may have to hold on the financial advisor. The insights from the Silver Fox are quite profound. A particularly great stock for long-term investors.
MI, is that what he's talking in code? What? Oh, the Silver
That's
Fox.
The Silver Fox, right there.
Okay, yes,
Ugo
okay.
is the Silver Fox.
Ugo is the Silver Fox. How much time do we have?
We have no more time.
I wanted to get into GTB. Okay, that's fine. Ugo Dre and Mairo-Ese, thank you both, gentlemen, for joining us today for these earnings results. And as usual, thank you so much for your messages as well. We appreciate that.
Thank you, Rotus. Thank you all. Thank you, Mairo-Ese. Thank you, Ugo Dre. Ugo will be back with us at 7:30 for Freshly Pressed 981. More stories on money and everything around money markets as well. This is Smooth 98.1.